Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact the physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform right.
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your weapon.
Expert Action Badge. Graduate.
Find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your normal warrior tasks and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact the physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in the bag, Vogue. Graduate action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge. Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
You know, I really got to do something about getting out of the basement of the Pentagon. Mattis is about to beat my ass. Fucking McMaster's pissed off at me. I just have all the brass ready to rip my head off. What up, nation? It's KJ coming at you live from Jose's Taco Truck. You know how we do it here. Just hanging out, having a good time outside the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. And oh my God, do we got a doozy today. Oh, Jesus. We're just going to have a hell of a day today. Let's start off with the most important and dire news. I'm going to get snow. Now, y'all sitting there in the Midwest and up north are laughing at me going, oh, you're going to get snow. You're going to get 3 inches. But here's the harsh reality of snow in Nashville, Tennessee. When it snows in Nashville, and anyone that was stationed at Fort Campbell can vouch for this, but when it snows in Nashville, the entire state shuts down. God himself descends from the heaven and just sprinkles fuckery everywhere. We have more accidents per capita than anywhere else in the world, including fucking Russia. The whole world collapses in on Nashville because we can't get our fucking shit straight over a light dusting. Now, that's just a light dusting. We're getting more than an inch. Oh my fucking God, the entire state is declaring a state of emergency. We are praying to the old heathen gods of the Celtic yore. We are going insane. So, you know, if you don't see me or hear from me over the weekend, that means I've been sacrificed to the great god Yondu, of which I hopefully accept my new pagan overlords. Oy vey. But yeah, this snowstorm that's coming from California is going all the way across the United States, hitting all the states in its path, because why the fuck not? I covered all of Cali, now all the fucking United States gets to suck. So, yeah, wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be playing the Hunger Games here in Nashville. Okay, let's get straight to the fucking house. God fucking damn it. House passes the FISA reauthorization despite Trump tweet criticizing the program. First of all, the tweet ain't gonna fucking stop someone from passing something or not. But here we go. The House of Representatives passed legislation reauthorizing the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which is a key tool for the U.S. intelligence community, despite President Donald Trump's tweeted criticism of the government surveillance program. The vote was 256 to 164, and now goes to the Senate for consideration. All right, let's stop right there. Mr. President, you goddamn glorious orange fuckboy. Stop tweeting. Your tweets don't fucking matter. No one fucking cares. I swear to God, every fucking day, no matter what the fuck the topic is. Oh, a boy in fucking California just developed a new kind of fucking reactor? I gotta put a tweet out. Oh, we got soldiers in Afghanistan fighting? Tweet. Oh, KJ graduated from fucking Jesuit College of Northern America? Let me put a tweet. Mr. President, stop fucking tweeting. God fucking damn it. Moving on. House Republican leaders and top administration officials believe early Thursday morning, today, that they were in good shape to pass the plan, even though it faced opposition from the right and the left, and as always, a heavy legislative lift. And then President Trump tweeted. The tweet got sent out at 7:33 a.m. at an ungodly hour that questioned the already contentious program came at the worst time for GOP leaders who spent recent weeks rounding up the votes and combating demands for change from conservatives and libertarian elements of the conference. The White House and law enforcement agencies have also been working the Hill and securing support from both sides. And the tweet says, because of course they have it, disproven and paid for by Democrats, dossier used to spy on Trump campaign. Did FBI use intel tool to influence the election? At Fox and Friends, did Dems or Clinton also pay Russians? Where are hidden and smashed DNC servers? Where are crooked Hillary's emails? What a mess. No one fucking cares. No one. No one fucking cares. No one cares if the Democrats or Clintons paid Russia. No one fucking cares where the hidden and smashed DNC emails are, DNC servers are, and no one cares where the emails are. Why? Because everyone fucking before her did it. Every sex state did it. No one fucking cares. It was great buzzwords during the campaign, but move the fuck on. You're like an internet autist. 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 You're like that fucking internet troll that can't get past his own stupid level of fucking, I have to be the most loud, screeching, autistic fucker on this forum. God damn it, Mr. President. Shut the fuck up with your Twitter. But anyway, I digress. House Speaker Paul Ryan and Trump spoke following his first tweet on FISA, according to a source familiar. A separate source confirmed that Trump initiated the call. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi on the House floor at one point urged lawmakers earlier on Thursday to send the bill back to committee and make more changes. A senior Democratic source told CNN Pelosi had also called Ryan and urged him to pull the bill in light of the president's tweet. Pelosi announced shortly thereafter she would support the bill. I mean, at that point, Mr. President, you're not doing anything to help your own fucking party. Which is great. I get it. You're not really a Republican. Let's call a spade here. You're not a fucking Republican. You're Donald J. Trump. You are your own fucking monster. In a good way. Not in a bad way. In a good way. He is his own fucking beast. But, for fuck's sake, they got you into the White House. Help them out a bit by just shutting the fuck up. Now, as part of the negotiations with conservatives, Republican leaders allowed one amendment with the changes the bill's opponents wanted to get a vote, with the assumption that it would fail, but would at least give these members the chance to say they got something. And the White House statement Wednesday night going on record against the amendment was a further effort to make clear Trump supported the bill and not the effort to kill it with major changes. That amendment failed Thursday morning following comments by Ryan made saying its passage would kill the overall bill. It's every week. You know what? Diet Chop time. I'm so fucking tired. Every fucking Tuesday, I'm talking about North Korea, and I'm talking about how we're all gonna have fucking nuclear explosion, and how I pray to God that we'll find a peaceful fucking solution. But then fucking I would love to fucking be a part of a violent solution, because why the fuck not? And then every fucking Thursday, I'm going off on a fucking diatribe about President Trump. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. If I see another fucking news article regarding President Trump and his tweets, I ain't fucking reporting on it. Fuck it. I ain't doing it. No way in hell. I am so tired of every fucking week. It's the same fucking stupid shit. Well, he said something we didn't approve of. Well, they said something I didn't approve of. Well, you know what? Fuck him. Let me put a tweet out. God damn it. We can't just make this one. We can't make this about the people. It has to be about the fucking tweeting and who's on his side and fucking bullshit. That's what it is. This is why I drink Kahlua and whiskey in my coffee in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is just absolutely fucking retarded. You know what the worst part is? And yeah, y'all can say I'm triggered. I deserve it. Yeah, I already knew. I didn't even fucking check the Facebook chat. I knew someone said I'm triggered. But you know what? You know why this is so frustrating? Because every fucking week, nothing changes. It's the definition of insanity. Every week, Bandit, stop eating your asshole. Every week, we deal with... That was my dog I was yelling at. Every week, we deal with the same fucking thing. Trump puts out a tweet. Everyone responds to the tweet. Everyone freaks out. Tweet gets forgotten. Can we just stop? Can just all public officials of all countries not have Twitter? Done. Just make a government Twitter page that's something incredibly important needs to be pushed out, like, oh, hey, there's a terrorist attack, or, oh, hey, we're having a state of emergency, or, oh, hey, you know, some kid got fucking kidnapped, nationwide Amber Alert. I'd be cool with. So much nicer. But for fuck's sake, we do not need Donald Trump every goddamn 30 seconds of his life telling us how much he fucking pissed in the toilet bowl. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting to a point where we can't even get accurate fucking news that is unbiased. Partially because, you know, the news is all fucking, you know, dealing with the same bullshit. They're all fucking playing the ratings game. But the other part of it being that we have to deal with the bullshit of fucking President Trump and everyone else radicalizing them. And giving them the incentive to be radicalized. It's insane. Fuck it, let's go to Britain. Oh, god damn it, New York fucking Times. Fuck you, New York fucking Times. Okay, let's see if I... There we go, The Guardian. Citing the New York Times, so I'll get the same info. Just some fucking bullshit. Yeah, it's not even 2 weeks I've used my 5 articles from the New York Times. Fuck you, New York Times. Moving on. Julian Assange's stay in London embassy untenable, says Ecuador. South American country that has housed WikiLeaks founder for 5 years says it is seeking mediator to end impasse with UK. Ecuador's foreign minister has said Julian Assange's 5.5-year stay in her country's London embassy is untenable and should be ended through international mediation. The WikiLeaks founder has been holed up in Knightsbridge since the summer of 2012 while he faced the prospect of extradition to Sweden over claims that he sexually assaulted 2 women. He denies the accusations. Swedish prosecutors last year unexpectedly dropped their investigation into the allegations, which included a claim of rape. But Assange still faces arrest for breaching bail conditions if he steps outside the embassy, and WikiLeaks has voiced fears that the U.S. will seek his extradition and that there is a sealed indictment ordering his arrest. WikiLeaks publications have included hundreds of thousands of U.S. Army war logs and State Department diplomatic cables, and more recently emails from the Democratic National Convention during the run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The U.S. Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, said last May that Assange's arrest was now a priority. Ecuador's Foreign Minister, Maria Fernanda Espinosa, said her country was now seeking a third country or personality to mediate a final settlement with the UK to resolve the impasse, said it was considering and exploring the possibility of mediation. I volunteer as tribute. I want to be the mediator for this. I want to be the mediator for this, and this is why. Imagine KJ at a big fucking table with Ecuadorian, with WikiLeaks in the UK and the Ecuadorians, because they're involved. And so they go, what's the issue? And they tell me, oh, well, he can't come back to the UK because he might get extradited. Why might he get extradited? Well, he was accused of sexual assault charges and possibly rape in Sweden. They dropped that, but we're worried about the United States trying to extradite him for hacking. Okay. And the question is, was the crime committed in the U.S.? Well, no. I mean, he did it from his laptop in Ecuador. Okay, so Ecuador, you gonna press charges? No. Okay, fucking go back to the UK. Let him in. Because we can't. That's the harsh reality with our. I mean, that's the simplest fucking argument here. Simplest fucking argument here for Julian Assange. Did you commit the crime in the United States? Well, no. Okay, bye. Even with a fucking internet crime. Were you in the United States when you committed it? No. Were you attacking U.S. Were you attacking U.S. property? Yes. Okay, well, there's some of it, but technically, He didn't do shit. It's a victimless crime. Victimless. So at worst, if the U.S. decides to extradite him, he'll get what, 2 years? Who gives a fuck? Moving past, no solution will be achieved without international cooperation and the cooperation of the United Kingdom, which has also shown interest in seeking a way out, she told foreign correspondents in Quito, according to agency France Press. Assange, who has received numerous visitors to his modest quarters in the embassy, ranging from Nigel Farage to Lady Gaga, has described the period since his initial arrest as a terrible injustice. Not being able to see his children grow up was not something I can forgive, he said. For several years, Metropolitan Police officers maintained a constant watch of the embassy, which is situated behind Harrods in central London, at a cost of at least £11.1 million. Jesus Christ, it's almost $20 million, according to figures released by Scotland Yard in June 2015. 4 months later, police lifted the round-the-clock guard on the basis it was no longer proportionate. A United Nations panel concluded in 2016 that Assange was under arbitrary detention. On Tuesday evening, a lawyer for Assange appeared to welcome Ecuador's proposal. He said his client had a right to asylum and argued that the risk of him being persecuted in the U.S. had escalated further in recent months under the Trump administration's war on WikiLeaks. Which, if we remember correctly, Donnie Jr. and Julian were kind of talking about Russia and the DNC, and they were kind of working together. So there's that whole fucking wonderful little group of fucking loyalty that President Trump, demands absolute loyalty from everyone else, but doesn't give any out himself. And that the investigation in Sweden has twice been discontinued. If the UK wishes to show that it is a nation that respects its human rights obligations and commitments to the United Nations, it is time for Mr. Assange to be allowed to enjoy his right to liberty and fundamental right to protection against persecution in the United States, she said. A spokeswoman for the UK government said, the government of Ecuador knows that the way to resolve this issue is for Julian Assange to leave the embassy to face justice. Jesus fucking Christ. This is the jackassery of it. We need men and women like Julian Assange. We need whistleblowers. And this is going to sound this is going to sound weird, so let me explain myself. We need people like Julian Assange. We need people like Edward Snowden. We need people that whistleblow on potentially harmful government practices. And the reason why, especially I don't like Edward Snowden, and I'll clarify that. I don't like him. I don't like what he did. But I'm glad to know about the PRISM project and the PRISM program that let us know about what the CIA was doing, let us know about what the CIA and NSA were, how they were surveilling U.S. citizens. It violates constitutional rights. That's why PRISM was quickly destroyed once it became public. So, having whistleblowers is a good thing. It's a bad thing at the same time, but it's a good thing as well, because once there's something as egregious as like PRISM, then you need to have it out there and talked about, and once it's in the public eye, it's all over. However, you were investigated in Sweden for 2 sexual assault cases, 1 rape, a claim of rape, of which Sweden dropped the charges. Great. But now the U.S., especially for what you've done to the United States, which is the hundreds of thousands of U.S. Army war logs, the State Department diplomatic cables, and more recently, emails from the DNC, yeah, you definitely penetrated our security. You definitely got in there and found things that you weren't supposed to find. And it comes the argument, what secret is a good secret to keep? Now, a war log is a good secret to keep. That's definitely a good secret to keep. But if I remember correctly, these are the same war logs that showed an Apache gunner fucking letting loose, going crazy, having some fun, to say it politely. Diplomatic cables that were reinforcing that. And the DNC that was absolutely just abhorrent and destroying Bernie Sanders. It was, we see that. And now Jeff Sessions last May, saying that Assange's arrest was now a priority. Come to it, face the light. Get in front of a federal judge, get it over with. However, don't take down WikiLeaks. Because as much harm as they have done, they've done a lot of good as well. It's a necessary evil. Because there are organizations out there, outside the U.S., that fear WikiLeaks. Yeah, he said he had dirt on Hillary. He said in those conversations with Donnie Jr., he said he possibly had dirt on Hillary. Possibly. Nothing came of it, Hunter. But the harsh reality is that the man committed severe crimes against the United States, which he'll get a couple of years for. But WikiLeaks needs to stay around. Even if Julian Assange doesn't, and he does get extradited to the U.S. and does face charges, and he gets in prison, WikiLeaks needs to stay around because there are countries out there that fear the power of WikiLeaks. That's the beautiful thing about it, is that you have an organization like Anonymous, which is chaotic neutral, and WikiLeaks, which is chaotic neutral, that does not see things in good or bad. They just see information and feel a need to put it out there. That in of itself is a chaotic place to be. And with WikiLeaks being what it is, and countries like many African countries, lots of European countries, that don't know who's a member of either organization, the benefits of having them in for us, the public, is incredibly high. Now, I'm not condoning illegal hacking. I'm not condoning obtaining information illegally or distributing secret information. But what I am saying is that if something is bad, like what PRISM was, then yeah, get it the fuck out there. If there's one thing I can agree with Edward Snowden, it's getting it the fuck out there. If there's one thing I can't agree with Edward Snowden, motherfucker, you sought asylum in fucking Russia. No wonder we're having so much bullshit with Russia. You know all our back doors. But I digress. WikiLeaks good, Julian Assange asshole. Okay, moving on to Russia. That was a flawless segue. Oh god, do I have to start with Russia? I don't want to start with Russia. Okay. President Donald Trump insisted Wednesday that it is time for the Republicans to finally take control of the investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election and bring an end to a scandal that has been looming over his presidency since he took office nearly a year ago. Okay, hold on, I'll save my comments for the end. Republicans were already doing their best to comply. The president's allies spent their first 10 days of 2018 redoubling their efforts to undermine special counsel Robert Mueller's probe and its congressional cousins and to protect Trump from any political or legal fallout. Okay. They've gone with the best defense is good offense, says Lori Levinson, a former federal prosecutor who is now a professor at Loyola. Oh my god, Loyola, that's a great fucking name. Law school in Los Angeles. Bob Mueller must be made of Kevlar because they've definitely been shooting at him. The sheer number of Republican attacks on the Russian investigations in just the first few days of 2018 make it easy to forget how many there have been. Here are a few. Last Wednesday, House Speaker Paul Ryan, who wants a famously bumpy relationship with Trump, backed the president's close friend and ally, Representative Devin Nunes, in a dispute with the FBI and Department of Justice. The DOJ hadn't wanted to hand over certain investigatory documents to Nunes, who supposedly stepped down from the Russian investigation last April after he was caught being fed intelligence reports on White House grounds by officials who wanted to shield the president. The same day, Fox News and other right-wing media hyped an anonymously sourced New York Post story that suggested Mueller's grand jury contains too many black people. What? What? The fuck? Your grand jury contains too many black people. What? The fuck does that have to do with it? Alright, moving forward, right-wing's mere offense's defense approach to protecting Trump has been a consistent drumbeat, but at a few intervals, it can flare up, noted Laura Keeter, the communications director at Media Matters for America, a progressive group that tracks conservative disinformation in the media. Don't worry, there's a conservative one that tracks progressive disinformation in the media because, we can't have just one. We're seeing it intensify right now, in part because of the feedback loop between right-wing media and congressional Republicans that are acting on right-wing media narratives, and in part due to increased pressure on Trump. Also on Wednesday, Paul Manafort, the former Trump campaign chairman, whom Mueller had charged with conspiracy to defraud the U.S., money laundering, and a variety of other federal crimes, launched a stunty lawsuit against the special counsel, alleging that his investigation is overbroad and improperly authorized. On Friday, 2 Senate Republicans, Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley, sent a letter to the Justice Department and FBI asking for an investigation into Christopher Steele, the former British spy who compiled the notorious dossier on then-candidate Trump. Graham once called Trump a kook who is unfit for office and the most flawed nominee in the history of the Republican Party. Yeah, but Graham may have had a change of heart. Republicans in the House are diving into text messages between FBI agent Peter Strzok and FBI lawyer Lisa Page to investigate whether the pair interacted with reporters. Strzok served on Mueller's team and was removed over the summer after the special counsel learned that Strzok and Page exchanged text messages that were critical of a number of politicians on both sides of the aisle, including Trump. There's nothing explicitly wrong with officials privately discussing their views on politicians, and text messages of the two exchanged may have been part of an effort to cover up any romantic affair they were having. Regardless, Mueller refused Strzok from his team long before issuing his first indictment in the matter. Although he laid off attacking presidential rival Hillary Clinton for a short period of the election, Trump has ramped up attacks on the women he has branded Crooked Hillary as his own legal issues have built up. He's repeatedly called for the Justice Department to investigate her ever since becoming president, and recently the FBI seemed to have listened. Despite an expiring statute of limitations, the FBI field office in Little Rock, Arkansas has reopened an investigation into pay-for-play allegations surrounding the Clinton Foundation. The investigation into the charity has previously been shut down by career prosecutors due to a lack of evidence. But one witness, evidently sympathetic to the Clinton Foundation inquiry, told The Hill it was extremely professional and unquestionably thorough. And the Daily Beast reported last week that the FBI, acutely aware of President Trump's demands, is also taking another look at Clinton's handling of emails during her tenure as Secretary of State. Okay, here, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. First of all, Fox News suggesting that Mueller's grand jury contains too many black people. What the fuck? Fox News. You fucking shit-stained cunts of the fucking reporting world right now. What the fuck does race have to do with a grand fucking jury? You do fucking realize that the vetting process for a grand jury, for any jury, is not done by one side. It's done by a prosecution and a defense. It's not a single side of the argument, we decide who our jury is so we win. They both get says in who stays, they both get says in who leaves, they both get to trump the other side on one person on who gets to stay or leave, so on and so forth. It's a fair process to get the most amount of people in there to have a jury trial. It does not look at it at race. It does not look at it in fucking terms of political spectrum, because they vet for that. They're trying to find people who are politically independent, have neutral views of the politicians involved, and, above and foremost, respect the fucking law. Let's fucking see. You know what? I want to see what too many black people on the grand jury. How many fucking people? Let's see. They think special counsel, too many black people on it. Grand jury looks like a Bernie Sanders rally. Maybe they finally sure us in central casting or a Black Lives Matter rally in Berkeley. Oh, way to fucking go. 11 out of the 20 grand jurors in the room were African Americans. Were black. Why? That lines up with the percentage of African American residents in the District of Columbia. They can't pull fucking jurors from fucking Minnesota or fucking New York or California or Texas. They have to pull them from wherever the jury is. Very rarely do they move the trial somewhere else, and they have to pull jurors from that area. So the trial's happening in District of Columbia, in Washington, D.C. Of course there's going to be 11 out of the 20 are going to be black. That represents the fucking population there. There was only one white male in the room, and he was a prosecutor. Who the fuck cares? Jesus fucking Christ, Fox News. Do you, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. I'm gonna be bleeding out my fucking nose, brain hemorrhaging, because that is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever, this is even stupider than the fucking 7th group. We've grown up. We should be past this shit. Where the fuck is Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King right now? Because Jesus Christ, they must be rolling over their fucking graves. If that is newsworthy, that there are too many black people in a grand fucking jury, a jury that is going to decide the fate of an entire lawsuit against the president, how the fuck is it newsworthy to talk about race? Jesus. Even further, Paul Manafort. A lawsuit against the special counsel alleging that his investigation is overbroad and improperly authorized. You got charged with conspiracy to defraud the United States, money laundering, and a variety of other crimes. I'm curious what the other crimes were. Let's fucking find out. 12-count federal grand jury indictment unsealed shortly after surrender includes the charges of conspiracy against the U.S., conspiracy to launder money, failure to file foreign bank reports, and false statements. I don't think that falls under overbroad. That right there all kind of coincides with each other very easily. Conspiracy against the United States, conspiracy to launder money, failure to file foreign bank reports, and false statements. Those all fucking go hand in hand. If you mesh, listen, listeners, I want you to take your fingers, spread them all apart, and I want you to mesh them together. And right then and there, you've got that fucking investigation. They all fucking fit. They all coincide together. There's nothing overbroad there. Improperly authorized. How the fuck is that how the fuck is any lawsuit improperly authorized? I can understand a fucking arrest being improperly authorized. I can completely understand that. But how the fuck is an investigation? You fucking cunt. Moving forward, Lindsey Graham, stop being a fucking twat waffle. You didn't like the man before. Now, you're fucking defending the shit out of him and trying to get fucking people to investigate the fucking Christopher Steele, the British spy. Why? Fucking why? First of all, why is there such a fucking 180 from before? Why is the entire Republican Party shitting bricks and turning around and going, oh, you need to look at this, you need to look at that, you need to look at this, look at this, look at it. It's diversionary. I'm sorry, but it's very clear, it's very fucking clear that Robert Mueller, you can't divert, you can't hide, he's going to find it. It's becoming very clear. Whatever is there, he's going to fucking find. And looking at his previous career, which is public domain, you can look at it. He's one of those fucking investigators that if he smells some shit, he's going to find it with or without a shovel. He's real good at sniffing out, conspiracy, fraud, investigating in general. He's really fucking good at his job. Now, the part that aggravates me the most, and this is going to, once again, this is going to make me sound like a diehard fucking libtard, but it's not. It's law. An expiring statute of limitations, the FBI field office in Little Rock, Arkansas, has reopened an investigation into pay-for-play allegations surrounding the Clinton Foundation. Expiring statute of limitations. And we thought the FBI wasn't going to be on my hit list today. The statute of limitations has expired. Stop wasting my fucking tax dollars fucking investigating this. Stop it. Bad. Bad FBI. Bad. You're like a fucking dog I gotta take a fucking newspaper to the nose with. Stop it. The statute of limitation has expired. It's over. It's done. Do you want to know something? When a statute of limitation is done, it's done. You can't get fucking prosecuted for it. Now, granted, there are two kinds of statute of limitations. There's one that involves when the crime has been revealed, such as, hypothetically here, I just committed an act of murder. I'm announcing it live on the air. Guess what? The in fucking I don't know, Bumfuckistan, United States, the statute of limitation laws state that when the crime is revealed, that's when the statute of limitations start. So from that point, they have 10 years to prosecute and arrest me. We're using arbitrary numbers here. And then you have from the time of action, which is, I committed that murder 5 years ago. I'm now announcing it live on the air. And guess what? Now they have 5 years until that statute of limitation comes up and they can't prosecute me. And no, I did not commit an act of murder unless you consider me playing PUBG. Then playing on PUBG, I kill people all the time. But there's a statute of fucking limitations. It's over. There's no more investigation. There's no more fucking... They can't indict. They can't fucking do anything. What the fuck is the investigation going to do? Oh, well, they did it, but we can't... It's just going to fucking create more stupid fucking news. Well, it did turn out that the Clinton Foundation did do some funky things. But we can't prosecute because of statute of limitations. What the fuck do you expect to happen? God damn it, FBI. Y'all are being more fucking retarded than a... You're being more fucking retarded than those fucking Sonic and Knuckle memes out right now. Do you know the way? All it's going to do is add to the newsreel and create more division. Now, former FBI Director James Comey, whose firing by Trump last spring is part of Mueller's investigation, wrote on Twitter last month, here we go, Twitter again, that it was sad that things were at a point when anyone can be attacked for partisan gain, later writing longingly for more ethical leadership focused on the truth and lasting values in 2018. Where are all the voices of all the leaders who know an independent Department of Justice and FBI are essential to our liberty? Incredibly essential. Listen, you can be as political as you fucking want in the executive branch. You can be as political as you fucking want in the legislative branch. But the minute you bring politics in the Department of Justice, Roe versus Wade gets overturned. Then you have fucking Brown versus the Board of Education gets overturned. That is where you start having all of these very important court decisions get overturned because of political opinion. And unfortunately, the law is not meant to be politicized. Not in our country. You want politicized law? Go to fucking North Korea. You want politicized law? Go to fucking China. That's communism. That's socialism. But in a democracy, in a republic, which is what we have, a constitutional republic, in our republic, our laws are meant to be neutral and to benefit the majority. And to make sure that, we're not fucking over our constituents. We're not fucking over our citizens. But then again, common fucking sense. Yeah, they couldn't investigate before because they didn't want to commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head twice. Okay, yeah, that's great. But also with that statement, we all know what happens when an FBI agent gets fucking shot. The whole fucking FBI comes down on them. There's no way. There would be no way if the conspiracy theory is true and the Clintons are killing off people that they don't like and agree with. There is no fucking way that they would be able to get away with killing an FBI agent. No way. It would be utterly impossible. It just... No fucking way. That's fucking priceless, Mike Golf. I see that in your chat. And yeah, in that PM. That was fucking priceless. We need an independent investigative and judicial branch. That is our judicial branch. We need that independent. And for fucking all of these cockfags, from Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley to fucking House Speaker Paul Ryan to Fox News and their grand jury contains too many black people, shut the fuck up. You're not doing anything but dividing the fucking nation into conservatives and liberals, Republicans and Democrats, when the main focus should be we are all fucking Americans. God fucking damn it. I'm gonna have a fucking ulcer by the time I'm 30 because of this fucking shit. Moving forward. The moves against Steele, Strzok, and Page, meanwhile, could risk infringing on press freedoms. Graham and Grassley's letter about Steele specifically referenced his contacts with reporters, and leaks of Strzok's and Page's text messages to The Hill have highlighted their alleged contacts with the press. Trump has waged a long campaign against the media and has, like former President Obama before him, called for far-reaching investigations into leaks. If they can't get information out of Steele, Strzok, and Page about their contacts with reporters, congressional Republicans have the power to subpoena reporters they suspect spoke to the trio. The United States has no federal shield law protecting journalists from giving up their sources when subpoenaed, so journalists who refuse to do so sometimes end up fined for contempt or even jailed. Okay. I mean, I don't agree with that. Because we have laws for whistleblowers. We have laws for Edward Snowden's. We have laws for that. If Edward Snowden released all of that information directly to, say, CNN, then guess what? It's under the Whistleblower Act. He's protected. Hilariously enough, even though that they do want to indict him and they do want to bring him to court, he's protected under the Whistleblower Act. But we don't have a law that shields journalists from protecting their sources. So, completely ignoring this fucking jackassery of the Republican Party, what if a journalist had a source inside of a major criminal investigation, we'll say a cartel? He was inside the cartel hearings, be it a jury member or a witness. Congress subpoenas because someone on there's crooked and works for the cartel. And then, oh, here we go. They get subpoenaed. They have to give up all their fucking sources' names. And, oh, hey, we all know Raul Menendez. Yeah, Raul Menendez worked for us. No. You need to protect people like this. People that are willing to give up information, whistleblowers, sources to journalists, they need to be protected. Great example is what's going on with Google. Last Tuesday, we talked about a Google lawsuit where there was a lawsuit against discrimination against white men. There have been sources that have come out to the news stations and have reported on it anonymously. Those men and women, their jobs are now at risk because of their information. Their jobs at Google are at risk. Their livelihoods are at risk. Even further, any motherfucker that comes on to WTF Nation Radio, you call in, you're on CQ, you call in, you manage to get to your car, and you're talking about how your battalion is forcing all the pregnant women to go to fucking JRTC. You're putting yourself at risk. That is what a source is in journalism. An anonymous source. They're putting themselves at risk to get vital information out, no matter what it may be. Be it pregnant women at JRTC or a fucking murder investigation. It's a important thing to protect them. And now, furthermore, we'll hear what Judith Miller says, a former New York Times reporter and current Fox News contributor. I find any effort to delve the relationship between sources and reporters disturbing, as you might well imagine given my background. Once again, New York Times reporter and current Fox News contributor, who was jailed in 2005 for refusing to testify about her sources to a grand jury. These three committees in Congress are supposed to be investigating how the Russian interfered with our democratic process. That's their mandate. And their first referral they make is Christopher Steele. They seem to be suggesting that he's the criminal here. What the fuck did Christopher Steele even say? I'll find what Christopher Steele said later. It's not important. On a more fundamental level, the attacks on the Russia investigation risk making the president's defenders look silly. And it's true. Despite Trump's suggestion to the contrary, the special counsel investigations are under the control of the Republicans. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and Mueller, a former FBI director, are both members of the GOP. It's true. And this is what I don't understand. They're both proud members of the GOP. Why the fuck is the GOP so hard on trying to get them to their side? They're already GOP members. Oh, wait a minute. Because even though they're GOP members, they understand the need for an independent investigative and judicial branch. They understand the need for it. They are not looking at it from the grand old party and the best needs and the needs best for it. They're looking at it as the needs for the country. I hope to God that out of this whole media circus regarding Robert Mueller and the Russia investigations, a definite and clear answer comes. Because if nothing comes of this and this just dies away, that'll be worse for the country. Absolutely worst. And the harsh reality is, Republicans are pushing measures to kill the Mueller probe. They're trying to stop this. And that's a huge problem. If there is any investigation, even at this high of leadership, you can't just kill it. It's too public. And furthermore, we deserve to know. If we elected President Trump, and President Trump got the election not only from, because he didn't win the popular vote, we'll call that a spade. He did not win the popular vote. But he won the electoral vote. But somewhere in that area, in between the popular and electoral, if it comes out that that the Russians interfered on his behalf in any way, shape, or form, he's fucked. He's even more fucked if they interfered, like I said, on his behalf. He's even more fucked if they actually find documentation or communication, like it's already been reported with Donnie Jr. and Julian Assange being the go-between for some Russians regarding the DNC, regarding Hillary Clinton. That right there is a huge issue. Yes, it implicates Donnie Jr., but furthermore, you can still tie the president to that one. Right now, he's got that immunity for being the president. He doesn't have to testify. He doesn't have to go in front of a grand jury. However, if a president is found to have committed a crime like this, one where he himself cannot issue himself a pardon, how the fuck is the country going to handle it? That's my biggest worry. How the fuck is the country going to handle it if it comes out that President Trump and his campaign did collude with Russians? How the fuck is the country going to handle it if Hillary Clinton and her campaign, and I'm not talking supposedly or hypothetically, I'm talking concrete, hard evidence like what Mueller's trying to compile. What's going to happen if they find it with Hillary Clinton's campaign? And Hunter, I see what you said there. So what happens if they find evidence that the Russians interfered, but they can't find evidence that Trump was on board with it? Well, then, guess what? Trump's exonerated. Same thing with Hillary. If they can't find evidence that Hillary was involved, they're exonerated. But how would we, the public, be able to trust a politician or anyone running for higher office wholly and completely like we have in the past if it comes to light that in this election allegedly colluded with the Russians? I, for one, would continue to vote, but I, for one, would be a hell of a lot more skeptical about who I'm voting for. Because it's corruption at the highest scale. It's a betrayal and treason of the highest scale. World War II, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. You know, oh, yeah, I trust some politicians. I see that, Spencer. I see what you said. I trust some politicians. I trust Bernie Sanders. Because, yeah, he's a kooky old man it's a democratic socialist, which I know is a misnomer, but it's the closest thing to what he is. But I trust it when he says that he's going to do something for Vermont, that he's going to do it. I trust the representatives I trust the majority of the representatives out of New England. I trust the majority of the representatives out of Florida and out of Georgia, out of Texas, and Northern California. SoCal, but Northern California is more middle ground. I trust the ones that lean towards conservative Democrat or liberal Republican. I trust the ones that are more in the middle. Guys like Trey Gowdy. The Gowdy brothers. The Gowdy brothers. My nipples are erect just saying their name. The Gowdy brothers make me excited. Those are politicians I trust because they are hard-hitting and they want to know the fucking truth. And that's all they want to know. If Trey Gowdy ever fucking ran for president, without a fucking hesitation, I will relocate and move to fucking South Carolina so that I can make sure he gets in the fucking primaries there. And then I'll relocate and move back to Tennessee to vote in I will be moving a shit ton to make sure he gets in those fucking primaries. And then he gets selected because Trey Gowdy is someone I trust. But Cuomo, governor of New York City, fucking Paul Ryan, Nancy Pelosi, shitbag motherfucker, what's his name? Where is he? Lindsey Graham, Chuck Grassley. I don't fucking trust him as far as I can throw him. I don't trust him not to collude. I didn't trust, and I'll be blunt here, I didn't trust President Trump because he was a rhetoric-speaking fuck who used buzzwords to gain his fucking followership, and I didn't trust Hillary fucking Clinton because she used buzzwords to gain a followership. I trusted Gary Johnston. Okay, the Aleppo thing, I get it. It happens. Even I would make that fucking mistake. With, I hear fucking thousands of goddamn things every fucking day, hundreds of military acronyms. I would make the mistake once in a while. Oh, I'm so sorry. It slipped my mind. I hear so much every day. My bad. But he was the guy that when they were talking about smoking fucking pot, smoking pot can lead to a heart attack. What the fuck does he do? Boom. Oh God, my heart. And starts making fun of this stupidity. There's a man after my heart. There's a man that speaks common sense. But then again, we're a two-party system, and we're never going to see anyone outside of a Democrat or a Republican in right now. So yeah, I trust some politicians. I don't trust the major parties. I don't trust those that pledge their allegiance to America and then pledge their allegiance to the Grand Old Party or the Democratic Party. I don't. It just is not in my fucking nature. Because both of those motherfuckers have had plenty of times in the 26 years I've been alive, plenty of times to prove themselves that both those sides are actually fucking, common sense and know how to fucking run things. And it's been proven they fucking don't. They don't. The only common sense thing done by either party in the past 26 years was Bill Clinton balancing the fucking budget in 95. Where I was fucking 4 years old. And then President Bush declaring war on Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Mainly because I was fucking there. I fucking hate politicians. I hate what politics has become. I hate how it doesn't represent us. Kick a lobbyist in the nuts for me. It's going to be a trending hashtag. Okay, moving past politicians. Let's talk about some money. Who wants to get rich? I do. Alright, cryptocurrencies are staging a big comeback after trading ban fears wane. Bitcoin surges 8% from the low. Now, okay, I have Bitcoin. I have a Bitcoin. I have a whopping, let's check my Bitcoin real quick. Coinbase.com. Let's see how much Bitcoin I have. I have a whopping 0.0001 Bitcoin, which is $1.86. $1.86. There we go. But the Bitcoin price right now is $13,734.20. That's fucking insane. So let's furthermore here with what Bitcoin's going on right now. The world may not be ending for digital currencies after all. South Korea's Justice Minister Park Sang-ki said on Thursday that a bill is being prepared to ban all cryptocurrency trading on the country's exchanges, which drove digital currency prices sharply lower. Now, the price of Bitcoin tumbled more than 12% from its day's high following Park's remark, which I believe that was on December 24th. No, it wasn't. It was on the 22nd. And the high on the 17th, which is when I bought my coin, my 0.0001 Bitcoin, was at $19,795.61. So it's dropped about $6,000. However, over the course of 2 weeks it's dropped. It's peaked again at $17,000, and now it's resurging. It's a currency. It's a new currency, and it's not a hard currency. After the 8% comeback, Bitcoin was down just 3% today. The news agency added a ban bill could take months or even years to pass the country's legislative body. Industry experts believe the fears over the South Korean ban proposal are overblown. Cedric Jensen, founder and CEO of BitSpread, one of the largest digital currency market makers in the world, downplayed the developments in the Asian country. It is understandable why the authorities are acting in Korea, which is different to other digital currency markets in several respects. Prices of digital currencies there are much higher than the rest of the world because of local circumstances. Developments like this should be seen in the broader context of the continued evolution and development of digital currencies globally. Okay. Fuck yeah. You know what? Okay, we're going to address that question real quick. Spencer asked, why do I want to get rich? Because I am a bleeding heart conservative. Ah, you never heard that phrase before. You hear bleeding heart liberals. I'm a bleeding heart conservative. I'm the kind of motherfucker that is willing to, if I won the Powerball, immediately I'm taking $10 million and I'm gifting it to WTF Nation Radio. If I ever won the Powerball and it was over $100 million, fuck it. Even if it's $1 million, I'll give 10% of that WTF Nation Radio. And yeah, you heard it on the air. It's fucking binding. All that shit. I am willing to invest, and I'm willing to share and spread my wealth. Yes, that'll increase my wealth. But I am one of those people that if you have a fucking great idea, fuck you, Branko. You're not getting any extra sour cream. I have no sour cream. You only get guac. Only guacamole, Branko. But yeah, I will fucking give and give and give. You got a great fucking idea and you need $5,000 to start up. Here you fucking go. I want a 3% return on investment within 5 years. Okay, great. So yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit if Bernie takes it away and gives it to the needy and lazy. Because I'll already be giving it fucking away to everybody else. Fucking everyone else at fucking jerk me off freedom jerky company. Fuck yeah, here we go. Here's $10,000. Fucking grunt style. Here's 50. WTF Nation Radio. Here's 100 mil. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you're some homeless guy that's had a great idea for a fucking product and that actually would be a great fucking product? Here's $100,000. Go get yourself a fucking apartment, get yourself the equipment, and go. I swear to God, I'm waiting for someone to put in the fucking Facebook chat. I'm waiting for Chris. I'm waiting for Chris to get in here and say that taxation is theft because it's getting there. You know, I see that, Spencer. To be forced to give your money away is stealing, and I'm waiting to see the taxation is theft, and then that argument will come up. But the cryptocurrencies, I think it's great because right now we're on a gold standard. Well, we were on a gold standard. And cryptocurrencies don't rely on a gold standard. And that's what I like about it. That's what I like about Bitcoin. See, so many people are like, oh, you need to invest in Bitcoin because it's this and that. And if you invest, you can trade it at one Bitcoin in and get this much. But the harsh reality is, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin aren't reliant on something hard. They're reliant on what we put into it. So a Bitcoin, in and of itself, it takes up no space because it's digital. And furthermore, the only people that can influence it are the people that are buying it and using it as currency. Now, where have we seen that before? What science fiction have we seen digital currency before? I mean, we've seen it in Star Wars. Which, okay, that's not the best example, but, you know, it's always, Star Wars is always in a state of political turmoil because that's the fucking state of the world when you have fucking space wizards. You see it in fucking Starship Troopers. You see it in fucking Firefly. You see it in, oh, wow, every single fucking fictional story about our future has us going to credits and digital currency. We already were making that move with credit cards and debit cards and all of our money being arbitrary and not physical. What's stopping us from jumping? And it's natural, and I understand South Korea putting a ban on all cryptocurrency trading on the country's exchanges because it upsets the current standard, which is the banks. And I'm not being tinfoily here. It's harsh truth. No taxation. There should be more people out there like you. Thank you, Branko. No taxation is not death if it goes to the greater populace and everyone's benefit. Correct. I am all for cryptocurrency and all for us moving to a singular currency. Imagine the ease. Imagine it. Where you travel from fucking the United States to England and you don't have to worry about converting your money from American dollars to British pounds. You could pay with Bitcoin. Imagine the ease of buying and selling goods. Imagine the ease on balancing a budget. No longer do we have to try to sit there and balance a budget based off of what the exchange rates are and figuring out how much the American dollar is worth the Chinese yen, the Japanese yen. I'm sorry, or the fucking Vietnamese. I don't know what the Vietnamese use. Piastre, I think, or the Afghani Afghan. You know, it's bam, we have it. Hey, you owe us 400,000 Bitcoins. Digital currency is going to be the future of the world. It'll convert the world into a simpler way of dealing with economics, where we're all on the same fucking page. You know, it'll make life easier for all parties involved. Oh my God, it's already 1 o'clock. All right, we're gonna finish up this topic and take a short break. Short break, one song. You know, it's one of those things of when you have cryptocurrency, it makes life just generally, easier. But I digress. South Korea is one of the major cryptocurrency trading markets. It accounts for somewhere in the region of 6% to 12% of all Bitcoin trading, according to industry website Crypto Compare. Digital currency fund manager Brian Kelly predicts Korea's moves will just be another bump in the road for the relentless rise of cryptocurrencies. The ultimate outcome in Korea is still unclear, but if they move to regulate similar to Japan, then it would be very positive for crypto, Kelly wrote in an email. The change in the market over the last few months is that the incremental buyer is U.S. investors, and Korea has become less of a driver. Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP also surged off its low by more than 15% after it announced it is teaming up with U.S. money transfer giant MoneyGram. XRP is up 8% Thursday, according to CoinMarketCap. And that's the other very fun fact about this, about cryptocurrencies. And no, not New World Order. I wish it was New World Order. Then we'd have a fucking clear-cut enemy. But the fun fact about cryptocurrencies is people are buying it. Now, you guys listening, you may not. I don't know if you have. I have. But people are buying it. People are exchanging it. People are trading it as real currency. People are paying off debts with it as real currency. It is now, technically, once it was used to pay off a debt, the first time it was used to pay off a debt of any kind, be it fucking gas or a fucking parking bill. The minute it was used that way, it became a real form of currency. And because it takes up no space, and it's all digital, so it's accessible anywhere, it is, by leaps and bounds, better than what we currently have. In an environmental way, it's leaps and bounds better because, oh my God, We don't have to print up all those fucking bills. We don't have to waste as much time printing up plastic credit cards. We don't have to fucking... Yeah, a guy bought a house in Seattle. I mean, for fuck's sake, a guy bought a house. For fucking environmental concerns, it's brilliant. For fucking economical, it's brilliant. It stops a lot of the bullshit that happens in the economic circles. But with that being said, we're going to take a short break. We're going to take maybe 4-minute break just so I can, grab myself a cup of water and come back and sit down. And we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes, all right? So just bear with us, 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to play some music, and we'll be right here up on Facebook, all right? So once again, as always, shots.
WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Thank you. Appreciate you staying around. We're going to start the second hour strong with an update to Julian Assange. Literally 50 minutes ago, he's been granted citizenship to Ecuador. In a bid to resolve an unsustainable situation at its embassy in London. The standoff with British authorities continue as the foreign office rejected an Ecuadorian request that it grant diplomatic status to Assange, insisting instead that the Australian national leave the embassy to face justice. But that is currently the situation. They have just traded one stalemate for another. He is now a citizen of Ecuador, but, you know, he leaves the fucking embassy and they're going to try to snag him. Easiest thing to do, fucking get into some fucking cars with Ecuadorian plates and get into an Ecuadorian plane and fly the fuck out of there. But yeah, good for him. WikiLeaks stands tall. Alright. Here we go. Do we want to deal with racism or do we want to fucking deal with Medicaid? Racism or Medicaid? Racism or Medicaid? Racism or Medicaid? I don't know. Let's do racism. God damn it, I hate myself. Alright, here we go. Rachel Dolezal tries to capitalize off of H&M's racist ad with her own protest hoodie. And it makes it fucking worse. So, this is the same chick. Oh, God. This is the same chick that was born white and somehow managed to finagle her way into becoming an NAACP chapter president. The woman who attempted to blur the lines from racial identity is now selling protest hoodies to counter H&M's coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie that went viral for the wrong reasons. That's right. Oh, by the way, this is Perez Hilton of all fucking people. Perez Hilton is sitting there saying that the hoodie went viral for the wrong fucking reasons. Perez fucking Hilton. Out of all the fucking people in the world, let's start with that. Perez fucking Hilton. That flaming fairy coming out of his asshole guy is sitting there saying it went viral for the wrong reasons. I mean, you done fucked up, America, when and it's not like he's fucking Republican or he's conservative. This dude is hardcore liberal, and he's sitting there going, y'all are fucking retarded. The gay agenda, everybody. The gay agenda. Common sense and fucking outdoing you and being a better neighbor. But anyway. Because her own son was called a monkey in school, the former NAACP chapter president thought the hoodie could use some positive reimagining. And it now states her protest one is coolest prince in the hood. Oh my fucking God, people. Oh my fucking God. Yep, there it is. There's the hemorrhaging in my brain. Yep, I'm gonna be dead by the end of the show. Because how the fuck is that better? Coolest prince in the hood. Coolest monkey in the jungle. What the fuck, you fucking dumbass motherfuckers? What is the fucking... And then she changed it again to coolest prince on the planet. Because, of course, when you fake yourself to be an NAACP chapter president and fake being black, you can't use fucking words like the hood. But the point is, when a celebrity entertainment reporter and a personality like Perez Hilton is sitting there going, you know, that fucking hoodie went viral for the wrong fucking reason. I don't fucking see how no one else can fucking I'm dumbfounded. I can't even fucking speak because this guy figured it out. This is not something worth fucking being protesting and being fucking pissed off about. Okay, maybe a poor choice of model, maybe. I can see the racial implications of calling, having a black child wearing a shirt that says "coolest monkey in the jungle." I can see that. But it's not it's not intended. It was completely unintentional. It's meant to be a fucking sweater that you fucking wear. They're not implying that the kid is a monkey. They're implying that, monkeys are fun and playful and cool as shit. Like what most kids believe they are when they're fucking children. Not the fucking crazy, I'm gonna bite your fucking finger off that they actually are. And, most kids aren't gonna think about, oh, they're calling me a monkey because I'm black. Most kids are gonna think, oh, they're calling me a monkey because I climb all over the fucking jungle gym like a goddamn monster. Like I'm a fucking beast. I mean, for fuck's sake. They're kids. Not everything has to do with race. Yes, it was a stupid decision by H&M, but oh my fucking god. Not anything has to do with fucking race. It's not being fucking advertised on fucking, like, BET as like, oh, this is the greatest new fucking sweater. You need to fucking buy it for all your little homies. No, you fucking idiots. I feel like I should play the fucking disclaimer again, but, fuck it. We all know it's mine. I can't understand how Perez fucking Hilton, of all fucking people, can see it as, it's not that big of a fucking deal, guys. It was not intended. They corrected it. It's being advertised for children and not in this manner. I don't see how this is such a big fucking deal, guys. And the rest of the world, oh my god, that's racist. Fuck y'all. Y'all are too overly sensitive. Alright, moving forward. Medicaid. Trump administration opens door to let states impose Medicaid work requirements. What? I have not read this. This is going to be a journey for the both of us. The Trump administration issued guidance to state early Thursday that will allow them to compel people to work or prepare for jobs in order to receive Medicaid for the first time in the half-century history of this pillar of the nation's social safety net. The letter to state Medicaid directors opens the doors for states to cut off Medicaid benefits to Americans unless they have a job, are in school, are a caregiver, volunteer, or participate in other approved forms of community engagement. And an idea that some states have broached over the past several years, but the Obama administration consistently rebuffed. What? Cut off Medicaid benefits to Americans unless they have a job, are in school, are a caregiver, or volunteer or participate in other approved forms of community engagement. Okay. The new policy comes as 10 states are already lined up, waiting for federal permission to impose work requirements on able-bodied adults in the program. 3 other states are contemplating them. Health officials could approve the first waiver, probably for Kentucky, as soon as Friday, according to 2 people with knowledge of the process. The guidance represents a fundamental and much disputed recalibration of the compact between the government and poor Americans for whom Medicaid coverage provides a crucial pathway to health care. The idea of conditioning government benefits on work activities was cemented into welfare more than 2 decades ago, when a system of unlimited cash assistance was replaced by the temporary assistance for needy families with its work requirements and time limits. The link between government help and work later was extended to anti-hunger efforts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, as food stamps are now called. States seeking Medicaid work requirements: Utah, Arizona, Kansas, Arkansas, Indiana, Wisconsin, Kentucky, North Carolina, New Hampshire, and Maine. There we go. I had to think about it for a second. But most health policy experts, including a few noted conservatives, have regarded the government insurance enabling millions of people to afford medical care as a right that should not hinge on individuals' compliance with the rules. Much of the president's constituency feels differently. 2 polls in the past several months by the Kaiser Family Foundation and the Harvard Opinion Research Program found more than 80% of Republicans favor the idea, along with a smaller majority of Democrats. The Trump administration has signaled from the outset that it wants to set a more conservative tone for Medicaid, a 1960s-era program that was part of Lyndon Johnson's anti-poverty Great Society. On the day in March When she was sworn in as administrator for the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, Seema Verma dispatched a letter to governors encouraging innovations that build on the human dignity that comes with training, employment, and independence. Okay, we're gonna pause here, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. What the fuck? I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm not insured right now. I'm not. I can't afford insurance. I am currently applying for Medicaid because I can't even afford insurance through my workplace. It would be detrimental to obtain insurance through my workplace. It is fucking harsh. You know, I have a ER bill that's about to come up that is going to be close to about $8,000 to $9,000 fucking dollars. How come we don't hear about insurance issues prior to the 70s and 80s? Insurance companies weren't a fucking thing. They weren't. You had car insurance. That was about it. And when the insurance companies did what they did and started fucking with the hospital's charge masters, and you've heard me talk about when Minx on her shows, now insurance companies are almost, you need it to survive in this world. And I'm going to ask this, for that 20-year-old that gets fucking cancer, what the fuck is he supposed to do without Medicaid? He's going to have to quit his job if he goes to cancer treatments. He might have to quit his job. That's a better way of saying it. He might have to quit his job. What the fuck is that fucking 19-year-old going to do if she gets pregnant and wants to keep the child? Medicaid. Now, I'm all for them saying you need to work. You need to be employed. You need to be in school. You need to be either a caregiver, volunteer, or participate, which really isn't a deviation from what it currently is. But what about people like me? I'm 26. I am applying for Medicaid because I can't afford it. I can't afford anything else. And it's my last ditch to get fucking health insurance. I got enough medical problems, and you know, my wife is recovering from Lyme disease. She's been in remission from Lyme disease for close to 10 years. You know, my wife can't fucking, she's got an immunosuppressant. So, what the fuck are we supposed to fucking do if we can't get fucking get Medicaid? Yeah. She has a job, but technically I'm employed, but in 2 more days I won't be. Including today, so Saturday I won't be employed. My schooling, yeah, I got fucked on that end because my previous school won't release my transcripts. So I'm not going to be a student. Now, my state, Tennessee, is not asking for this, but if I lived in Kentucky or Indiana or Wisconsin or Kansas or Arkansas or Arizona, I'd be fucked. I'd be fucked because I need to go see a doctor at some point this week. I've had a fucked up throat for the past 3 weeks. I don't know what the hell's wrong. It's hard for me to talk. It's hard for me to fucking breathe. I go to the ER, and I know it's going to cost me $8,000 to $10,000 to get it fucking checked out. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't afford $8,000 to $10,000 for an ER visit. What the fuck am I supposed to do? What the fuck are other men and women in my position? What are we supposed to do? Medicaid is not meant to be long-term. I understand that. I've been on Medicaid once before in my life. I was on it for 6 months. And that was a 6-month period from me starting my enlistment paperwork and all that jazz. And getting sent to fucking Fort Benning. That's when I was on the day before I fucking left for the day before I left to go to fucking MEPS and go to fucking, get ready to go to Benning. That day before, I was canceling my Medicaid because I knew I was going to have I know I was going to have TRICARE. I knew I was going to be covered. And bada bing, bada boom. But what the fuck is other men and women like myself that just shit happens? And it's not a poor pity me story. It's just shit has happened. We can climb out of this hole. What the fuck are we supposed to do when we find ourselves in that hole? You know, as of Saturday, I will be completely unemployed. The fuck am I supposed to do? Other than find a job, of course. What the fuck am I supposed to do for insurance purposes? How the fuck am I supposed to take care of myself? This is the issue with limiting Medicaid. And only 10 states are asking for this, for work requirements, for this waiver. But I think the bigger issue is community, is our fucking country. Medicaid is not meant to be, go to the VA. No. It has nothing to do with my fucking service. VA already told me that. I tried that, Spencer. VA told me fuck off, because it has nothing to do with my time in service. But that's the national VA for you. They're absolutely shitty. At least I'm not going to the Memphis VA. But that's the issue with Medicaid. People, like for me, I used it for 6 months. I got off. I don't want to be on a government assistance program for long term. I see what this is trying to prevent, which is the long-term abusers. People that are using it for years and years and years and years and years and draining resources. People that are draining the benefits program from those who need it. From Joe Snuffy that's, just got fired and shit like that. Or here, even KJ, company closed his store down and here he is without a job and he couldn't afford fucking health insurance. He couldn't afford the fucking pay for the premiums to keep it for another 6 months. So I got to go get Medicaid. So who the fuck, what the fuck is going to happen if Tennessee or New York or California or Montana, Texas, Florida, they decide, this is a good idea. Especially California, Florida, New York, Texas. Out of those states I listed, those 4 have high populations. High populations that rely on Medicaid because there's just some people just can't afford insurance. I personally believe health insurance I personally believe healthcare is a right. We deserve a modicum of healthcare as a base right. I don't think ER should fall under that. I don't think fucking extended inpatient. I think that it needs to be reworked and it needs to be talked about. And you need to include doctors, you need to include economists, you need to include a bunch of people in this conversation. But shit, just outright saying you're fucked to those that don't have a job, are not in school, are not a caregiver, volunteer or participate in other approved forms of community engagement, which we'll get to that one in a second. But if you're in Kentucky and you're not one of those, you're fucked. Sorry. People are going to leave those states. People are going to go to where they can get care and be taken care of. And that's another thing I want to ask about, is what the fuck constitutes an approved form of community engagement to volunteer or participate in? Because hypothetically, I live in Tennessee, but if I was living in Kentucky, would me doing the show constitute participation in community engagement? Would it? These are important questions that don't have direct, clear-cut answers. Now, it continues to say the legal issue is that states must obtain federal permission to depart from Medicaid's usual rules, using a process known as 1115 waivers, for the section of the law under which the program exists. To qualify for a waiver, a state must provide a convincing justification that its experiment would further the objectives of Medicaid. Unlike the 96 rewrite of welfare law, which explicitly mentions work as a goal, Medicaid's law contains no such element, and critics contend rules that could deny people coverage contradict its objectives, and that's true. Medicaid is a tool for those who are in poverty or in low-income households to get a step up and boost them up to be in a middle-income get out of there, afford their own insurance. It's a stepping stone. But in these states, I'm curious to see how Kentucky, I'm curious to see how Arizona will dictate if you're working, are you working enough to warrant Medicaid? And we're not talking about some disabled guy that can only work 20 hours. He's automatically going to get it. But someone that's working 40 hours a week, a full-time job, is that going to dictate enough that you can get Medicaid? What if that full-time job offers you fucking health insurance, but you can't afford to lose it because of cost of living in your area, which has skyrocketed in some of these states? And most of them it's gone down, but some of them it's gone up. You know, what is the clear-cut yay or nay? What says someone is going to definitely get that insurance that they need? I didn't go to the VA emergency. It's a 45-minute drive to get to the VA emergency room from my house. It's just easier to go to my local ER. Yeah, Spencer, I see that, but fucking, I tried following up with a specialist there for it, and it was, nope. I thought that was what I should use the VA for, was, you know, hey, something's wrong with me, but apparently I'm wrong in my thinking. The VA is not to care for you for anything that happens after your military service unless it's emergency. The VA is there to care for you for what happened in your military service. At least that's what Nashville says. Nashville VA. I see what you're saying, Spencer. I just go to the ER that's 20 minutes away and, you know, I could just drive to. Because, you know, I can't afford a $1,000 ambulance bill. You know, and the scary part, here's a harsh reality. There are hundreds upon thousands, maybe even tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of our brothers and sisters that are veterans now that are on Medicaid and live in those states. And those states that are listed, 3 of them, 4 of them, I know, 5 of them, are very, very pro-veteran states. Arizona, Kentucky, North Carolina, New Hampshire, and North Carolina. And by pro-veteran, I mean they appeal to the veteran mindset. They've got good Second Amendment laws. They've got low cost of living. You know, well, Arizona not so much. Kentucky's in the middle too. But, you know, they appeal to the veteran mindset. They appeal to what the majority of veterans like. And a lot of veterans are on Medicaid. Well, if you're a veteran and you're on Medicaid, and that Medicaid is supplementing any VA benefits, and you're not allowed to work, what's going to happen now? Are you going to have to volunteer? Are you going to have to possibly put your own body in more harm's way just so you can keep getting that supplemental Medicaid? Or Medicare? Well, they haven't said anything about Medicare, but if Medicaid's on the block here, Medicare's not far behind. You know, these are very important questions which are not being answered. As I'm reading through this article, they're not being answered. You know, Matt Sallow, Executive Director of the National Association of Medicaid Directors, says, and I quote, "This is going to go to court the minute the first approval comes out." They're looking for very, very closely to the legal options. It's not a good idea, and it's illegal. That's what Leonardo Coelho says, Health Policy Director at the National Health Law Program. He also argues that it is, quote, totally contorted. It's a little like saying that rain causes clouds. It's more like people with Medicaid get care which helps them be healthy and makes them able to work. Listen, I'm very independent when it comes to government assistance. I've been there, I've done that, I've had to buy that t-shirt. It's something I'm not happy to do when I had to do it, but it helped me get out of holes, and that's what it's meant to. When you fall, you can use government assistance to help you get back up. It is a crutch, but temporarily. And when you abuse it, well, that crutch becomes a fucking wheelchair, and that wheelchair becomes a fucking life support system. States that are going to force to prove that you are working, or forced to prove that you deserve health care. That's what wrinkles my iron most. That you deserve the health care. That you deserve treatment. That's what this screams at me. That's what it screams. Do you have a job? No, you don't deserve Medicaid. Are you in school? No, you don't deserve Medicaid. Are you a caregiver? No, you don't deserve it. I'm sorry. When did the government get to decide what I do and do not deserve? I'm pretty sure I'm the master of my own destiny. I'm pretty sure I get to decide what I do and do not deserve. And when it comes to asking you for help, you get to tell me if I qualify or not. Not that I deserve it, but if I meet the minimum standard for it, or if I exceed the maximum. And if I exceed the maximum, you can't help. But if I don't exceed it, you sure as shit better be able to fucking help me. I know it's not a popular mindset, and I take those up very often, very personally. But Medicaid is critical for this country. It's abused, I know, and I hate that it's abused. But we also have a mindset that if someone's going to give us something for free, take it for as long as you can. So, that's part of our fucking country's upbringing. It's just appalling that the underlying tone is, do you deserve health care? Not do you need it, which is what it was before, but do you deserve it? Imagine telling that fucking mother of an 8-year-old child who's got fucking leukemia, or is fucking dying from whatever hellhole disease is out there. Cystic fibrosis, we'll say. I don't fucking know. I'm just naming medical conditions. But imagine telling that mother, oh, we're sorry. You and your son don't qualify. You don't qualify. You don't deserve it because you're not in school. You don't have a job. Yeah, you're a caregiver, but you don't meet our caregiver guidelines. So we're not going to give you fucking Medicaid. We're not going to give Medicaid that'll help your son. Because kids can't apply for public assistance. The parents have to. And the parents get based upon, not the child. I know in Florida, they do based on the child's needs. I don't know about here in Tennessee. I can't speak for other states. But from what I'm reading, that's how it reads. That's appalling. That's everything that this country isn't. Deserve health care. Cunts. All right. Let's move past depressing and move past to what the fuck again. Big Apple sues Big Oil over climate change. Here we go. New York City's effort to hold oil and gas producers responsible for costs related to the environmental effects of their products face an uphill battle as it tries to stretch current law to address climate change. The biggest city in the U.S. sued British Petroleum, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, ExxonMobil, and Royal Dutch Shell, claiming they're the world's largest industrial contributors to climate change. Several California municipalities, including San Francisco and Oakland, previously have brought similar cases. The city is seeking to build on successful legal challenges against producers of asbestos, cigarettes, and lead paint. New York is using the centuries-old legal concepts of public nuisance and illegal threat to community welfare, such as a brothel, drug den, or illegal hazardous waste dump, and private nuisance and unreasonable interference with the use of someone else's land. Both theories have been used to attack polluters, though not on the scale of global climate change. The challenge will be to persuade a judge to apply well-worn legal standards to a 21st century problem. There isn't anything you can point to and say, this is exactly like that case, said Michael Berger, executive director of the Sabin Center for Climate Change Law at Columbia Law School in New York. This is new. You're goddamn right this is new. Why the green climate, that's just a fucking link. representatives of the energy companies pushed back. This lawsuit is factually and legally meritless and will do nothing to address the serious issue of climate change. Coming from Chevron spokesman Braden Riddle, who said in an email. Curtis Smith, a spokesman for Shell, said by email that climate change policies should be addressed through sound government policy and cultural change to drive low-carbon choices, not by the courts. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is a global issue and requires global participation and action. Lawsuits of this kind, filed by trial attorneys against an industry that provides products we all rely upon to power the economy and enable our domestic life, simply do not do that, said ExxonMobil spokesman Scott Silvestri. ConocoPhillips declined to comment, while representatives from BP didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Cities have unsuccessfully tried to use nuisance law in the past. The U.S. Supreme Court in 2011 ruled 8-0 against a suit by a group of states and New York City that used federal public nuisance law to target companies operating fossil fuel burning electric plants. Okay, we're going to pause right there. We're just going to hit that pause button because what the fuck, New York? God damn it, if fucking... Okay. If Giuliani was still there, and common sense, which he had tons of, reigned supreme in New York, this wouldn't fucking be an issue. You can't sue a fossil fuel burning electric plant for public nuisance. Do you know why? Would you like to know why? Because, just common sense here. You have to type up that lawsuit on a computer that is powered on the same grid as the fucking plant. So someone, I'm not a lawyer, but someone please fucking enlighten me as to the thought process behind this jackassery. God damn it, Kumo and fucking, just fucking, okay, I gotta continue the story. The court said federal law leaves regulation of greenhouse gas pollutants to the Environmental Protection Agency and doesn't allow for suits by state and city governments or by private parties. A federal appeals court in California the next year threw out claims by Coastal Alaska Village threatened by erosion and storms, applying the Supreme Court ruling. Oh, pardon me, I didn't mean to yawn. The suit filed late Tuesday in Manhattan federal court alleges the energy companies violated state law. Because of that, the Supreme Court ruling may not bar the city's claims from going forward. The city argued that oil companies denied findings of climate change scientists despite knowing that the use of gas and oil posed grave risk to the planet. New York also claims the oil companies are liable for trespass or the intrusion of increased heat, flooding, and are liable for trespass or the intrusion of increased heat, flooding, and sea level rise onto city property. Okay. That aneurysm's gonna get me by the end of the day. You goddamn neoliberal fucking idiots. This is where you Druidic idiots. You goddamn fucking paganistic fuckboys. You need these products to keep your city running. Gas and oil keep New York City running because New York City is on a fucking island. You are the center for economic power of the United States. You are the center of the #1 most amount of commercial products bought and sold. How the fuck do you think you get all of that? By fucking fairy dust farts? It has to be trucked in. It has to be shipped in. God damn it, New York Port Authority is one of the #1 fucking employers in the fucking state. I have friends that live in fucking Albany that commute 3 fucking hours across your state to Manhattan to fucking work there because the pay is good. You have people from other states that are commuting to your fucking city because it pays so fucking well. I even entertain. KJ, who grew up on fucking Long Island, who hates the city with a passion. I hate going into the fucking city. And I even entertain talking to my wife moving to Connecticut or moving to Pennsylvania because the opportunities available to us in New York City are much greater than what they are here in Nashville. And the pay is better too. My wife and I were entertaining a 6-hour commute from where we were where we were looking at to fucking New York City because the pay is fucking worth it. 6-hour commute total, not 6-hour commute one way. But for fuck's sake. Trespass for the increased heat, flooding, and sea level rise on the city property. You fucking idiots. I can't. Oh, between Cuomo and de Blasio, I just want to fucking. I don't know. I feel I need to be fucking pile driven into the fucking sidewalk because they're just absolutely fucking. No one can be that stupid. Fucking no one. Ugh. They're even fucking... here's the worst part. Mayor de Blasio is also joining Comptroller Scott Stringer in announcing Wednesday that the city's 5 pension funds, which control about $189 billion in assets, intended to divest about $5 billion from more than 190 fossil fuel reserve owners within the next 5 years. New York State's Attorney General Eric Schneiderman is investigating whether Exxon defrauded shareholders by hiding information about the effects of climate change on the company's bottom line. That would be an awesome lawsuit. I would support that. That would be great. But to sit there and file a lawsuit based off of, oh, well, you're trespassing and you're increasing the heat and you're flooding and the sea level rise on the city property. No! It's up to our government to fucking litigate and dictate what these companies can and can't do. Not an individual fucking city. Let the government dictate it. Let the government put out the legislation. And then let the courts argue that if the legislation is legal or not. But this right here, this fucking druidic, paganistic bullshit. And I'm sorry, Minx, I'm bringing up pagans, so please forgive me. But fucking this druidic, paganistic bullshit about Mother Earth and Gaia and oh my god, it's just, she's hurting so much. And no, we're not fucking druids. We're fucking human fucking beings that need to fucking sit there and we need to fucking get our Tupperware so we can put our fucking fish in the Tupperware and put it in the microwave and piss all our office buddies off that we're cooking fish in the microwave. We need our fucking, that's an oil product. We need our fucking cars to drive us to and from New York City so that we can go to fucking work. We need those generators working so the fucking subways can. For fuck's sake. De Blasio and Cuomo, you are fucking useless. Alright. Here we go. Let's get this shit going. We're gonna do some house cleaning. Alright. Got some great guests. Tomorrow, Friday, for Friday Night Freedom, we have Major Crispin Burke, or as ICE calls him, Crispy Burke. He's been serving in the active duty in the Army since 2002. He's been Army aviator qualified in the Black Hawk and Lakota helicopters. His assignments include the 82nd Airborne during Hurricane Katrina, Joint Task Force Bravo in Honduras, 10th Mountain during the Iraq War, and the Joint Multinational Readiness Center in Germany. He administers the blog Wings Over Iraq, and he's been featured in the New York Times, Small Wars Journal, and Foreign Policy, World Politics Review, and the Wall Street Journal. Tune in tomorrow for Friday Night Freedom. Check him out. That's going to be awesome. This Saturday, we got Luis Fernandez from Conus Battle Drills. Every day, veterans are getting out of the military. We face a world we don't understand. For example, fucking New York City suing oil companies for climate change. And a world that doesn't understand us. We're faced with challenges that we are completely unprepared for. Writing a resume, preparing for interviews, picking companies, translating our skills for a soft world that are all things we're not trained in. There's that bullshit ACAP stuff that they make you go through. And I was drunk for most of it, so I don't even remember all of it. In addition to getting a job, most of us have families we need to support. We struggle with being a husband that's a teammate. Instead, we fight to win like it's an ambush. We have little patience with our kids, and far too often we ignore the demons that can ravage a weak mind. CONUS Battle Drills is written by a combat veteran, Luis Fernandez, for combat veterans to help each other grow in areas of corporate employment, fatherhood, being a husband, and taking care of your mental state. He doesn't pull punches, he's not surgical in his approach, he will not collar you, and he will not feel pity for you. He says, you are fucking killers, survivors of the greatest fighting force humanity has ever known, and I will treat you as such. Sometimes, however, we fall and need some guidance, and that's why he created the page. That'll be on Saturday for Saturday Night Savagery. On Monday, on the Monday edition with Ice, we have Anthony Anderson from Stolen Valor. Oh, I'm so excited. Anthony will be on the show to update us on what's been going on with Stolen Valor since the last time they've appeared. He'll also be on to talk about his new project called Valorified to validate veteran-ran businesses. As we all know, we've seen the 7-Elevens and the fucking, smoke shops that say proud veteran-owned business, and it comes out that, Abdul Mahmoud Bahamid was never a veteran. So I can't wait to see Valorified and see how they operate, and if there's any way to help them. And then next Thursday at noon, my first guest, Jonathan Davis, Esquire, from Veteran Esquire Legal Solutions PLLC. My first guest on the Taco Truck. I'll be sure to pull out the good china. Jonathan H. Davis, Esquire, is a United States Army veteran that dedicates his life to serving veterans and their families. He founded Veteran Esquire Legal Solutions after serving a 15-month deployment to Iraq, earning a law degree from a top 100 law school, serving as an attorney for a federal government agency, and managing a veterans benefit program for a Big Six veterans service organization. He currently owns and operates Veteran Esquire Legal Solutions, representing veterans from across the United States in pursuit of VA benefits, discharge upgrades, federal records requests, and litigation. On next Friday, January 19th, we have the Guardians of the Green Beret. The Guardians of the Green Beret is an organization that targets people who falsely claim to be a Green Beret. They are retired and current active duty SF that is dedicated to exposing the posers of the Green Beret. And next Saturday, January 20th, we have John M. Peck. USMC veteran, a quadruple amputee, and double arm transplant recipient John Peck will be back on to update what's been going on and how he is doing. Please also don't forget to check out our wonderful sponsors. We have the Veteran Support, as well as 94.1 and 620 KHB. They're our terrestrial radio show. Veteran Support is on every Saturday. I would give them a listen, go check them out, have some fun. And every now and then you might hear us on there. Please remember, they are terrestrial. They got the FCC breathing down the neck, so keep it PG-13. Also, don't forget Project Overwatch and their current campaign, Paw Patrol. This is the campaign that has the cameras put on the backs of dogs, gets that independent variable in there for the canine officer and the canine itself, allows for the greater situational awareness and generally just better work, better ability for them to do their jobs. Remember, they are entirely non-profit, so every dollar you donate will go to the campaign, and as always, Rangers lead the way. Also, don't forget War Horses for Veterans. They're actually looking for some help right now. War Horses for Veterans is trying to get a nice little barn or a show house. I'm not really sure the correct term of it, but that way they can operate year-round. And that means if they get this thing up and running year-round, you'll be able to take that 3-day horse and networking experience, go out there, have your Midwestern food, tell your no shit there it was stories, share a beer, that sort of thing, and enjoy yourself in that nice, wonderful Kansas atmosphere. Also, don't forget, we have a show every night of the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have Jose's Taco Truck at noon with I, KJ, your loyal and fearless host. Thursday nights at 2000 EST, we have Sergeant's Time, presented by Ice, Mike Gulf, and Doc Madness. They're going to talk about active duty Army issues and other things that are affecting all the other bases out there. Fridays, we got Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Mud Puppy to recap the week's events. Be sure to ask Minx about 19.1 inches and Summer. Saturday, we have the most savage night of radio, Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Brady and Pookie. Sunday, we are continuing our triumphant return with the Green Room, our 420 friendly show, DD214, required to participate in any 420 activities, hosted by veterans Jason and Charlie. Monday, we have our flagship show, the Monday edition, hosted by Ice, where they tackle current events and get your week started off right. And Tuesdays, we bring it up and tie it up with Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx and Grey Cloud. By the way, the current price of the couch is close to $450,000 USD. Please feel free to continue to auction off the couch. And Wednesdays are a Donza. That is right. Wednesdays are a day of no scheduled activities. Also, be sure to check out our new Roger That Spencer. I'm pulling you up right now. Also, be sure to check out our new page, WTF Nation Gaming. I'll be there. I'll be streaming games, getting stuff up. We're still in our crawl phase. We're getting things up and running. We're learning how to do things, getting all the software intact, being a part of that process. It's just like beta testing any game, helping us come into view, watch the streams, etc. Helps us establish a better product for you. So please come over, give us a like, hang out, share some content, talk with me or Pookie, have a good time. But you can see us in the links in the description. WTF Nation Gaming, hit us up. And other than that, I got nothing other than, God damn it, New York, you're fucking retarded. And with that being said, I appreciate all you do, and as always, shots!
Photograph, tell me what it is to see when you look at me deep into the photography. I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier, Green Beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight, get peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.